You know what time it is when you hear that beat? It's time to head over. Listen. It's time to head over to our girl. I say our girl because usually it's our girl, but today it's my girl, TK.
I'll take it. Great morning. Did you see that sunrise? How pretty is that sunrise outside?
Beautiful.
Did you see it on the screen? Nice, man. Nice. Well, good morning. Hopefully you're up with us, and thanks for staying with us if you are. Let's talk headlines, okay? So Cornwall Regional Hospital burn unit in the works. So IT, a fatal crash on the Maypen Toll left one man engulfed in flames. This video was all over social media. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. And it tragically resulted in his demise. So the victim was a passenger in a Toyota Corolla that collided with a median, igniting a devastating fire. So the recent incident has prompted inquiries into Jamaica's healthcare system and its capacity to address severe burn injuries. Currently, individuals with severe burns often require airlifting to overseas facilities, primarily in the United States, for adequate treatment. So Dr. Delroy Freno, clinical coordinator for the Western Regional Health Authority, confirmed plans for a burn unit at Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH, in the Western region. While acknowledging that the current burn unit situation is not ideal, Dr. Frey assures us that CRH has trained personnel, including a plastic surgeon, with additional staff on standby if needed. Cornwall Regional also aims to temporarily re-establish burn care within its intensive care units until the new unit is completed. So work is at it. They're working at it.
And that's good news. You know, unfortunately, it's kind of reactive. We often wait until something happens. That's as sad as what we've seen. You know, with that accident on the highway. But I'm happy that, of course, something is being done now, and the confirmation is there that a comprehensive, adequate burn unit is now on its way. Yeah. Because obviously, as I heard in the headline, that even though we have a plastic surgeon and there are treatment for burn units, for burn victims. Of course, to be assured that there's an adequate unit that will deal with it specifically, and persons don't need to be airlifted to foreign countries, is really reassuring for us. I'm happy about that part of it. Really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, resources. That's always
a discussion.
It's always. And so, yes, the burn unit is very important and it's needed. And I'm sure one of the reasons behind the delays is the resources needed, because I'm sure this is, I mean, the equipment, the staffing, the infrastructure, I'm sure is millions of dollars, and that's for the burn unit. I'm sure there are other units in the hospital that also could do with resourcing, as well as schools, as well as the police, as well as, you know what I mean?
So always
there's
the
so
different
much
areas
work to be done,
consider, you know?
and so many things to consider. So I'm just hoping that we can have this burn unit as quickly as possible. And like you said, I'm glad it's being worked on, because clearly we need it.
Absolutely.
Clearly we need it, right? All right, so let's do livable wages for Jamaican citizens. Elaine Duncan, president of the Jamaica Household Workers Union, applauds the proposed increase in minimum wage, emphasizing the long overdue need for livable wages, despite the welcome news of a 15% raise. Unlike in the United States, where the states may have varying minimum wage rates, Jamaica operates under a national minimum wage system, with the finance minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, proposing to raise the minimum wage from $13,000 to $15,000 per week, and that's per 40-hour work week. So while the increase is a step in the right direction, Duncan stresses the importance of further efforts to ensure Jamaican citizens receive wages that truly support a decent standard of living.
Timely, good news again, that the minimum wage is now being increased from $13,000 a week to $15,000 a day. I know you're saying, I know you're saying. What did you just say? I'm speaking it into being, because if that day comes, I'm sure.
I was about to say, the opinions of IT Ellis is not necessarily those of CVM television. That's definitely not what he said. Please don't run with that. It's $15,000 per week.
It's per week. It's 40. But I'm sure you're thinking that, you know, and of course, we spoke about it before in terms of resources and being able to afford these different things. I was saddened when I spoke about the news earlier. But to increase salaries, always a good thing for workers, you know, and increase minimum wage. So it's moving in the right direction. Yeah. So continue to move. I'm sure Jamaicans are agreeing that continue to move, you know, so that
you know. I always think there's always two sides to the coin, right? So on the one side, we definitely need you know, the minimum wage to increase, because there's so many people who are
cost
working
of living, yes,
and are what we call the working poor. They're working, they work hard, they work full hours, and still by the end of the month, they don't even have bus fare to get to work. You know what I mean? They have to borrow money to eat, right, and they're still going to work. So, and that's a challenge. So, of course, minimum wage increasing is definitely important and needed. On the other side of the coin, if you raise it too high, the people who are paying the minimum wage might have a challenge.
Yes, and not just
and
the
then
companies.
say, oh, I would love to keep you. I would love to keep this staff, but I can't afford it anymore because I can't afford to pay this increased minimum wage. So I'm going to have to let you go. So then it's a balance of allowing people to be able to live because they have a livable wage, but then keeping it at a level that people can afford to hire people and pay them the minimum wage. I don't know. It's a balance.
So true. And I'm sure some persons who are watching, they are saying, yes, thank you, TK, for that balance, because, listen, I have some staff in my house that if I have to pay them $15,000 per day, it's going to be a challenge.
Stop saying $15,000 per day. That does not exist.
I'm saying if, a conditional statement, if I'm proposing.
You know what? Let us go to the next headline. 15,000 per week. And let's keep with finance.
That's what was announced by the finance minister.
Right. Thank you.
I'm happy I'm a comedian.
Finance Minister, keeping with this, Finance Minister disputes opposition's increased tax burden claims. So still in the matter of finance, the Finance Minister has rubbished the opposition's assertion that despite no new taxes, Jamaicans have been forced to bear the burden of increased tax collection. Dr. Nigel Clark instead insists the increased revenue is simply the effect of a hard-working government. The opposition PNP claims that Jamaicans are increasingly being taxed indirectly. Its leader, Mark Golding, explained the doubling of tax revenue compared to 2015-2016. However, Dr. Clark attributes the increased revenue to 4 significant areas between 2015 and 2022. Income tax revenue grew by 145%, education tax revenue 152%, the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, the BJLC tax revenue 313%, and travel tax revenue 236%. So he advised Jamaicans that despite the opposition's interpretation, the situation should not be viewed as a negative development.
So there are no new taxes, but there's an increase in the revenue of the existing taxes.
Correct.
That clarification is important.
According to the Minister of Finance, whereas you know the opposition leader is saying actually, you know, that's not the case. What's happening is they're slowly increasing the taxes that exist, and so it seems like there's no new taxes, but we're actually being taxed more. And then the Finance Minister is saying, no, we're actually just collecting more on the taxes, these certain taxes that are
and that is why simplicity and clarity is so critically important for the common man, you know, to understand, all right, so if we are enjoying these benefits, how is it being financed, you know? And I think that is the challenge. Of course, the Finance Minister explained, but I don't think we all understand, you know, how it is that we are going to be able to afford these benefits. Again,
the two sides of the coin. Here we go again. So we're saying we don't want a lot of taxes. Taxation is very burdensome on the people. You know, it impacts our cost of living. So there's that. But then we're saying we need a burn unit. We need the police force to be improved. We need the teachers to be paid better. And usually a lot of those things come from revenue made from taxes. So how does it work? How do you balance it? And so I'm just glad. Listen, I am so glad I am not
we're not in government.
Listen to me now.
Because to juggle.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know.
And oftentimes the government, there's this proposal and the opposition has another proposal. Pull it.
That's what I think.
Yes, combine
Best ideas, just put them all together, no matter where they come from.
Yes,
I think that's a good idea. Let's do it.
Write that down. Pull it. The good ideas.
On the other side of the break, it's time for a Holy Money Masterclass.
That's interesting.
I'm excited.
A Holy Money Masterclass.
Listen to this, IT. It's biblical financial principles. You don't want to miss out. Let's do it.
I'm excited.